Today we will see why does the country need a constitution. So for it, we need to read the page number 5 to page number 9. This is the fourth chapter of the political science book. So we'll start with political science chapter 1, the Indian Constitution, which talks about Indian Constitution. Okay, so before we start to understand the constitution, let's understand first why there is need to study constitution or a requirement to frame the constitution actually came into being, or we can talk of, see some example will take. Suppose uh, we talk about any game. Let's say we talk about football. If I play football with hand, will it be okay?
No, ma'am.
So means if I play with the hand, so it would be considered as a foul, isn't it? We need to follow some rules. Similarly, if we are going to school, isn't it? So you have to go in school in uniform only, isn't it? If you are writing an exam, you have to answer only those questions that have been asked in the question paper, isn't it? You cannot take any question and which is your favorite or which is you learned it, which you understand. You cannot take that and write the answer accordingly, isn't it? So you won't score for that. So these are certain rules that have been defined for certain things. And similarly, for a country which is as big as India or any other nation, when we talk about there is a requirement for the rules to be formulated, or once these rules are framed in the country, we can write those, we can take them as oral rules. If we write those, so that is known as constitution. So, what basically a constitution does is it guarantees us, it explains us what is right, what is wrong. It helps to understand what should we do, what are the things we must follow. See here, you can see I have highlighted. Today, most countries in the world have a constitution, while all democratic countries are likely to have a constitution. It is not necessary that all countries that have constitution or constitution are democratic. See, here are the two statements that I have underlined here, that are all democratic nations have constitution. Don't get confused, okay? So all democratic nation have constitution. Not all nation with constitution are democratic. Got it? So all democratic nation have a constitution, though maybe they have different government, not democracy, isn't it? So all the nations have, can we have constitution? All democratic nations have constitution, and not all nations with constitution are democratic. Maybe they are different. They are monarchy, they have dictatorship. So all democratic nations have a constitution. This statement is correct. This does not apply to all the nation which has constitution must have democratic. There could be some nation which has constitution but are not democratic. But all the democratic nations of the world will definitely have constitution. So that is something, the key point that most of the students get confused in it. So it's very particular about this statement. Be very particular about this statement. Got it? These two statements. So here we'll see the case study of Nepal. So as I told you before also, not all the nations with constitution are democratic. So if we talk about the case study of Nepal, that is really very interesting. Till recent, Nepal was monarchy. You might know that. So it had a king. Previous constitution of Nepal adopted in 1990 reflected the final authority rested with king. people after that people's movement in Nepal fought for several decades to establish democracy, and in 2006 it was succeeded and power of king was ended. So previously they have the constitution, but it was the monarchy, and in 2006 it was succeeded. They fought for the democracy and it was succeeded and power of king was ended and newly constitution was established in Nepal as democracy. So Nepal recently changed from monarchy to democracy. See, why do we need the constitution? First, we have seen it. It gives basic idea what to be done, what is wrong. Then, see, now coming on to the point of designing the Indian Constitution. See, there were kind of British revolt that were taking place, and there were interval mutinies that were going on dispute. Despite that, our feeling we must have certain rules and regulation. Those should be obeyed by each and every religion, caste, irrespective of that. Each one should be giving equal state, even though minority or the caste, OBC, ST, SC, should have their representative also. So all these things kept into the mind, and therefore we had constitution that was drafted and finally formulated. It gained momentum in December 1946, as you typed prior only in the chat box. It took 3 years, and after 3 years, with more than 300 people gathered together to discuss and talk about constitution and taking guidance from different part of nation. So we finally draft our constitution in November 1949. In November 1949, and it came into being in January 19. Which year? Yes, 1950. Yes. So we said that there are certain rules and principles which must be agreed by all the people. So for this, we'll see one example. See here. Okay, I need here three characters.
Suresh is the class monitor. He is a bully. His classmates are not too fond of him. Mr. Rao, the class
Mrs.
teacher,
Rao.
Mrs. Rao, the class teacher has to leave the classroom on some urgent work. She asks Suresh to mind the class. Suresh starts picking on Anil. Anil, today I am going to report you to Mrs. Rao.
But what have I done?
When Mrs. Rao returned to the class, then monitor.
Ma'am, while you were away, Anil kept talking loudly and disturbing the class. He would not listen to me.
You will have to stay back after school today and write, I will not disobey the class monitor 100 times.
But ma'am, I did not do anything.
Yes. So, like here, he randomly blamed any other student in the class for not obeying and complaining the teacher. That student, without doing anything, get punishment from the teacher. What could be that? Yes, it could be kind of misuse of power. We can say because the child who has the monitor of the class misusing his, or you can say sometimes her power and giving punishment to the child who is innocent. Similarly, you must check whether the dominant group is not using power against less dominant group. So here also we'll see the one example. See, there is game period, and that time what happened? Let's play basketball today for a change.
No, we will play cricket.
So the teacher decide to settle the problem with a show of hands. And see, there are
Obviously, there are more boys in the class. We always have to do what the boys want because they are in majority.
Ma'am should think of another way to make decisions so that our wishes are also heard.
okay, so there are majority of boys and few girls, and teacher decide to work around what majority says. So that would a kind of bias opinion. So it's very important to check that dominant group or majority group is not using power against the minority group. And the constitution check this. Constitution protect minorities and their rights. It takes one community dominating another. That is inter-community domination or members of one community dominating other within the one community, that is intra-community domination. So why we need constitution? It decide ideals of nation which we plan to live. It explains fundamental nature of society. It lays rules to guard against misuse of power. It guarantees right to education, right to equality. So we need the constitution. And third significant reason why do we need the constitution? To save us from ourselves. So here is the one example given of Shabnam. See, Shabnam is in a fix. She has a decision to make. See, she has a test on next day. See what Shabnam is saying. I have two chapters left to revise for tomorrow's test, but it's time for my favorite TV program. I'm dying to watch it, but if I do that, I won't have time to finish my revision. And then, see, Shabnam's mother or grandmother, we can say, why you are looking so worried? So Shabnam told that I want to watch the TV program and you are also watching the same program. So where here, yes. So if you will also not watch the TV program, then I will not tempting to watch the TV program and I'll concentrate on my revision, which is very important. Oh, so see, this is the Shabnam's situation. So in this situation also, uh, where the constitution's role is important. See, why the Shabnam is happy. Later on, his grandparents also decided not to watch the TV. So she revised the whatever revision is there and she gave the exam properly. Okay, so here in individual things like wear the helmet in when you drive or what to do and what is wrong and what is beneficial for us, that is also ruled or that is also checked by the constitution. So this is also one of the reason that why we need the constitution. So from all the above discussion, we'll understand that constitution play a very important role in democratic society. So is there any doubt in this all? We'll see the PPT. Here is two situations and very interesting also. If tomorrow tomorrow was declared as a day without no rules, what would the world look like? Which of the following do you think is likely to be happen? Or let's take first this question only, this much. If tomorrow was declared as a day with no rules, what would be the world look like? Yes. So let's see the two situation now. First is all the people, each and every human being would feel liberated and behave in a perfectly ideal way. No one would hurt anyone. A stronger person would take care of weaker people. The richer person would be sympathetic. Adults wouldn't take advantage of the children. Children would take responsibility for their own studies and play only limited amount of computer games Is it possible? Okay, so second situation. Many people will take advantage of the freedom. They would be tempted to get away with things that are beneficial to them but might not necessarily be good for everyone or the country. So some of the above people would follow through and on temptation and hurt others. Many people wouldn't take responsibility and do what's good even for themselves. Like children might watch TV for long hours even though they have an exam tomorrow. So the first set of event is less likely to happen, isn't it? Although also the society cannot take the risk of believing that every single person would behave as in considered desirable by all people of that society. No one will no one will take care of every each other. So first set of event is less likely to happen. So eventually the ruleless society would be chaotic mess. One section of population would have no protection from the another. So even when the society has rules, people break rules. Nowadays also we can see there are so many rules. Then also we can see the cases of theft, cases of crime, murders, and so. Even we have rules, people are breaking the rules. So other people need protection. Therefore, a state needs rule for its citizen. When scaled up, a country needs rules, and indeed every country has an overarching set of rules. So when we go in detail or when we scale up means to make something larger in size. So that time we need the rules or set of overarching set of rules. Overarching means include everything, detailed rules. So what are these rules based on? Rules are based on certain principles that the citizen of a country live by. These principles are what is laid out in the constitution of the country. Therefore, the country's constitution is a detailed description of the overall principles that the society has agreed to live by. So, if the principle of the people are decided by the people, are we saying that 35, more than 35 crore people estimated the population, and when the constitution was framed, when the Indian constitution was made, got together to decide on life principle of Indians. See, it's not possible. It is a debatable question. That would be never-ending discussion. Considering 4 people in a house can sometimes take a long time to decide when we want to go to dinner. That time also, every person has different opinion, isn't it? So it takes a long time to decide on a restaurant to go for a dinner, isn't it? So therefore, the entire population was represented by about 300 people who discussed at length what principles would ensure that no section of the country is oppressed, which also means the very basic tenet. Tenet means principle was equality for all, like in all caste, in all religion, in minority, majority. So the basic principle was equality for all. So therefore, a constitution is required to define the very basic principle too, which the rules will center around. Politically, the basic principle is whether a country want to be a democratic or dictatorship or a monarchy. So constitution is depend on that. So if the nation is democracy or the monarchy or dictatorship, so the basic principle is a country want to be which government. So now say a country like ours has decided to be a democracy. Through its constitution and law, it will assign authority to different individuals to carry out the actual work of administration. However, this invariably assign a lot of power to these individuals. Therefore, the constitution and law there under have a system of check and balance to avoid misuse of such powers. So it checks that if someone use the misuse of the power, someone misuse the power. So it checks and the balance accordingly. The checks and balances also include precautions against misuse of the pre-existing power. For instance, if there is rich and higher classes or men or adults can potentially exert and take away basic freedom from their so-called inferiors. So it is in caste also, it is in rich and poor people also. In this, when any group with a lot of people can become powerful and exert it over a group with few people. It is we have seen in the example of girls and boys. So it always checks that if there is majority, so it protects minorities and their rights. It is therefore important that we have a constitution which makes such impositions illegal. Taking this forward, a constitution is necessary to safeguard us from things we could do that are harmful for us. For example, constitution for allow for warning against cigarette smoking or rules for compulsory helmet when we are on two-wheeler. Therefore, a constitution can be said to be necessary because it defines basic principles, it describes the type of government, it assures appropriate representation, it ascribes check and balance for the appropriate administration, it protects minority against majority, it protects from self.
If you like our videos, do share them and subscribe to our channel. If you want awesome quizzes, write to us. Keep watching and keep learning with Walnut.